me, I'm a fancy video maker. I got one of those special video lights with the circles and a clicker that doesn't start videos. It only takes single pictures, so I still have to press the button on the camera. Anyway, Metroid Dread. The e.m.m.i units kind of ruin the whole game. Metroid is supposed to be a slow-paced, haunted house exploration type game, but the house is an entire planet, and the ghouls are disturbing alien life forms. Yes, it's supposed to have some quick jump scares and moments of fast-paced terror and heart-beating moments, but they've sort of just instead taken the end stage of Metroid Zero Mission and stretched it out over the entire course of the game. Like Samus X in Fusion, but they waited before that became too much of an issue. Having to run away from invulnerable stalkers is a brilliant way to end a thoughtful, slow-paced mystery, but it's too irritating to shove into the front seat for an entire game. Otherwise, it feels like a really well-made Metroid game. I'm enjoying the level design and the regular enemies and the puzzles and mazes in the Metroid style. I kind of enjoy the little counter dash thing. I don't really like having to do counters in games. I'm forcing him into a lot of games. Modern is just kind of an annoying mechanic, but it's done fairly well in this one. And the bosses are pretty fun, other than the generic stalker droids. So, while I'm enjoying the Metroid elements of it, always having to worry about entering these e.m.m.i zones, it really takes away the core gameplay element that most people play Metroid for, the slow, free, thoughtful exploration element. If I'm being forced to run away from a bad guy that I can't kill yet, then I'm just panicking and running around and overstressing and not taking in the map as I'm going, and I'm being rushed out to another exit. And then I have to go back into that exit to find other parts of the map, and then I'm being chased again, and then to another exit, and then I'm lost. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get any much more of the map from that way either. I'm just being rushed through it. And so it extends the time wasting rather than any element of gameplay. It's forced time wasting, and that's not gameplay. That's not Metroid to me. I want the thoughtful exploration to be front and center. I don't want to be annoyed by a stupid bully that I can't deal with until the game decides to let me deal with him. It also carries over the cringy element of Samus's suit powers being withheld by somebody else in authority. Samus is not supposed to hold any authority. She's a lone bounty hunter. No man commands what she does, ever. I'm okay with the idea of her suit randomly having a stupid power down because she goes through some sort of strange energy crash every time she enters a new area. And then, oh damn, my power suit has no powers. That's repetitive, but it's not stupid. It's kind of stupid, but it's not as stupid as, I'm an atom and I'm the man, so I can command what powers you use, when, and where. I'm like, that's fuck you. Fuck you. Anyway, she's a lone bounty hunter. They really need to scrap that shitty element to her backstory in these games. It kind of destroyed the entire strong character that was built up by Samus herself, being a silent, competent protagonist that no one expected. Now everyone calls her lady, and they force it down your throat that I'm a powerful woman. I love powerful women. I draw them all the time. But this one feels like they're just forcing it into you. Whatever happened to the sentiment of a true gentleman never says, I am gentle? That carries over as well. It's just bad writing otherwise. At least this next e.m.m.i unit that I'm on to is lime green, which is my favorite color. But he's already pissed me off. This is the kind of irritating shit that makes me quit a game. It's not about, get good, I can do it. It's just a complete waste of my time. It's not Metroid, and that's not what I play video games for. I don't like Metal Gear type games. I don't want to sneak around from enemies. I just want to confront them. It's just more fun that way. I guess I should just always follow my own rules. Never pre-order. pre-ordering games is for suckers, and I got suckered. I gave in because I thought I had faith in the franchise, that it would go back to its roots and not add all this stupid Metal Gear Solid shit. You're giving a company their money without them earning it, yet rewarding, and you're rewarding when they release incomplete games rather than punishing bad business practice. Everyone remembers 2099 or 2077, whatever it is. I already forgot. And again, while it's a decent Metroid game, it certainly isn't worth more than $30 when you look at it for real. It's kind of sad that I had to spend $80. I'm in Canada, so I don't know what the prices are in the States, but we spend about $80 for regular premium games. I just thought I had faith in the franchise that it would go back to its roots, not add all this stupid Metal Gear style sneaking around, which just isn't fun. To me, it's not fun to me. It's boring. It's annoying. It's arbitrarily forcing my time to be wasted on going back and forth, trying not to be chased and trying to figure out the map, when I could usually just walk through the map and figure it out and have other enemies naturally become obstacles for me. Just let me explore openly and freely. Let the regular enemies naturally give me their jump scares. Don't force them down my throat. Lists with tired giant stages on the map where I have to be rushed. And whatever happened to all the sweet alien gore that made Super Metroid so special? I'm still at the beginning of the game, though, so I've only really fought the small organic creatures and boring generic stalker robots, so there might still be some good alien gore upcoming for me. But I'll tell you this, fighting a giant gory alien boss like Crocomire was so much more interesting and satisfying than running away from the exact same robot over and over again in different colors, destroying them with an odd forced control scheme that fucks with all of your senses and finger controls. Why did they make it so complicated? Classically, holding the charge beam and releasing it shoots it. Now, with this Omega Cannon bullshit, I have to charge with a different button, and instead of releasing it to release it, I have to still press the shoot button after it's charged. More often than not, I've been killed by that first droid by arbitrary controller confusion than any actual lack of skill. And Switch, start labeling your L and R with thin button icons rather than the square ones, because the square ones are shaped like the big ones, and you switched your Z and R labeling, and now I get confused, and what should be Z at the top is now regular L. I guess I'm pressing L. You'll see it as R, right? Well, whatever. You'll see it as L. Who knows? L, and then LZ is now the big one? That one should be L, where the top one should be LZ. But you switched it, so I never know which ones you're trying to tell me, and then both boxes are shaped exactly the same on your icon on the screen, where most try to, if there's a right trigger or left trigger, it tries to show you the trigger shape. And if it's a left bumper, right bumper, R1, R2, it shows you the shape of the button, so you know which button you're trying to press. I don't play the Switch very often, so I don't have this down pat, but the Z's usually are on the top shoulder, and the normals are usually down the bottom. GameCube. That's what I came from. Now let me get back to the script. More often than not, I've been killed by the first boss by that arbitrary controller confusion. You switched where the Z buttons go from the game configuration, so it's ultra confusing trying to figure out which ones you're trying to get me to press, especially when all other game controllers, including your own in the past, have always put the primary button on the lower, RT, the R2, or the R. They've been the primary dominant button for the last 3 decades on all controller schemes. Now you're putting all the important buttons on the top shoulders, the little tiny Z's that are like hard, like arthritic to try to press. I guess it's made for children who haven't hit arthritis yet, but they're gonna hit it by 12 with these Switch fuckers. These controllers. Nintendo used to be known for having the best, most comfortable, most quality shit, but the Switch is such a downgrade. I can never tell which button they want. Why would they push so much of the important buttons on the more difficult buttons to hit? The lower, bigger buttons have always been the best ones for using the main stuff. Just another major reason the Switch is a downgrade. But that's another topic. I've covered that on another video. But why do gaming companies sacrifice originality and good gameplay for adding crap that is completely lazy and nobody likes? Controlling confuser schemes with a stupid Omega cannon and arbitrary sneaking around before you have a chance to really have fun and explore the game, when later on in the game being chased around in those areas would be fun because you've mapped it out and you've figured it out a little bit. I came to play Metroid, not Metal Gear Solid. Get that sneaking shit out of my Metroid game.